e don settle my people. Hey, Gbadebo don carry Sanwo-Olu go court o. No be wetin we dey expect. No be the way people take dey use eye take dey see am again o. This one a lot of people feel say Gbadebo go just rest. Gbadebo say e no dey rest until the court make the right decision. Now Gbadebo don carry Inec and Sanwo-Olu go court o. E say because how Inec go just declare Sanwo-Olu as a winner wey dem know say a lot of things happen for that Lagos. Many polling unit result dey wey dem no upload and there's still a lot of ballot box. Why the Inec no patience to investigate, to look into the matter, say there's still ballot box, and also result wey dey upload dey change a lot of things inside. So e no go fit ever allow Sanwo-Olu to become governor of Lagos State. He say na him win. Right now, so they talk so. Matter don go court o. My people go like make una go hear from Gbadebo, because Gbadebo say nothing like giving up o. He go make sure say he defend the vote of in people wey come outside to come vote for am.
We cannot afford to have an bureaucracy, a militant type of government in Lagos State. We all believe that we had gone past this type of politics. We all believe that democracy had been deepened. But we saw not just violence and diabolic means of trying to restrain and belittle the people of Lagos to create a one-party state, all the way from Ikoyi to Ikeja to Ikorodu, were all disenfranchised. They could not campaign based on their past record, so they stoked ethnic strife. For the ambition of one man and his cult, the entire credibility that Inec had built over the last 4 years was ripped into shreds in one day. For the ambition of one man and his cult, we saw our traditional institutions reduced to pawns, to tools, or rites that were supposed to be done at night and witnessed by only the people that have been initiated into the Oro institution, was being done during the day, invoking in broad daylight the spell that Senator Tinubu and his cult have used to keep Lagos bound. There was no election in Lagos State. It was violence at multiple levels, physically and diabolically. On this ambition, they sowed seeds that potentially can lead to things that we have seen in other countries like the Rwandan genocide. Seeds of discord, seeds that othered our neighbors and people that we have known and have balance and harmony in this state. My dear Lagosians, our enemy they are not our neighbors or our visitors or fellow Lagosians. Regardless of their diverse tongues, our common enemy is violence, insecurity, poverty, stagnation, corruption, and underdevelopment. And the same people responsible for all the things I've listed weaponize poverty and ethnicity to distract us from their evil endeavors and diabolical activities. We will never have free and fair elections under a Tinubu presidency, because we can see by their antecedents, you can predict what is to come. Instead, we'll have a military type one-party system that seeks to disenfranchise and suppress people as opposed to engaging the people, selling their mandates, accounting for the stewardship of whatever positions that they've had. We've seen it happen in presidential to a lesser extent, and we saw their entire vision for Lagos State on Saturday. They have tried to destroy years of delicately balanced ethnic relations, years of intermarriage and friendships, years of commerce, and years of building Lagos into the economic juggernaut that it is. I call on the silent majority, the decent and cultured Lagosians, to speak out. Silence in this regard is not golden. Silence in this regard is acceptance and support. And we cannot be silent. It is enough of the worst of us defining the rest of us. On Saturday, we saw the APC's vision for Lagos, an agberocracy, a government by the agberos, for the agberos, and for the thugs and people that choose to suppress the good people of Lagos. We were all victims. This was not a tribal thing. We were all victims, even as shielded as Ikoyi is, as shielded as VGC is. Everybody, Yoruba, Igbo, South, Northerners even, in Isheri, they tried to discriminate against the Northerners that were obedient, that wanted to vote Labour Party. So this is not Igbo versus Yoruba, that's just a cloud that they are trying to use to hide their diabolical agenda for Lagos State. And this agberocracy will affect us all, because the moment that we have thugs running affairs, we have thugs being enabled by the government, we have thugs carrying out state-backed terrorism, we have thugs that the police look the other side with their actions, we have thugs that carry out all sorts of violence against the people of Lagos. Anybody, you, I, will eventually be victims of this thing. It will not discriminate whether I speak Yoruba or Hausa or Igbo. It will not discriminate. Lawlessness will affect us all. And a society like Lagos was built on laws. We have the finest lawyers, the finest judges, the judiciary was birthed in Lagos State. We're a city of laws. And lawlessness has become the order of the day under the APC government. And we have seen their vision for Lagos. And we are going to fight it through all legal means, because now more than ever, Lagos is in desperate need for us to birth our Lagos. A Lagos that is accountable, a Lagos that is open, a Lagos that is law-abiding, a Lagos that is holy, a Lagos that is pure, that believes in love and empathy, a Lagos where the people are allowed to express themselves regardless of who they want to vote for, a Lagos that will not be diabolically suppressed by evil people, a Lagos that will not be suppressed by violence, a Lagos that will not be suppressed by importing thugs from all over the southwest to come and enact violence against the same people that you want to govern. It is time to end that Lagos. It's time for our Lagos. We cannot afford to be silent. The good people, the cultured people, the decent people, indigenes of Lagos and Lagosians at large, we cannot be silent. We cannot leave this to the non-indigenes to stand up and fight. We cannot afford to associate ourselves with this level of thuggery, hooliganism that these people are trying to paint all of us as. We must talk. We must show disgust and disdain for this type of governance. We must stand up proud and say, no, this is not what we stand for. This is not the government, not in our name. And we are going to go through all legal processes to ensure that we retrieve this mandate, the mandate of so many people that were hurt, mutilated, killed. And we're going to see it all the way through. But this call is to you, people of Lagos. This is not the time for silence. We need you to speak up. We cannot afford for this discord to come in the south. These are two of the greatest ethnicities, greatest tribes in Nigeria and in Africa as a whole. In their coming together in a handshake across the Niger, Nigeria is unstoppable. And we will not allow one man, because of his selfish ambition, to destroy this work that Afenifere, the Pandef, the Middle Belt, all these forward that have tried so hard to bring us together. We will not allow the ambition of one man to destroy it. So I'm here to speak to you, to your hearts, to your minds. Please, this is not time for silence. Reach out to people. Reach out to our fellow Lagosians and and Lagosians at large, and let us seek to stand against this oppression, because it is only in the presence of justice that healing can begin. God bless you, Lagos. We love you. And for those that were harmed during this event, please log on to GRV Cares 2023. We are going to show our love by offsetting your bills, your hospital bills, because we stand by you and we are proud of you for making decisions based on hope and not fear. God bless you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Any questions? Please start by introducing yourself, your media house, and then your question.
So let me ask you this question. Those people who are injured and are still receiving treatment at the moment, what assurances do we have that they are members of the party one? And what assurances do we have that they were actually attacked by those who you have alleged to be behind the family?
We have videos. We have a plethora of video evidence. We know our polling unit agents. We know our polling unit supporters. Yesterday, when I was in Apapa, there was a young man that was next to another young man that was a victim of a machete being cut across his entire face. We have the video of it. We have the pictures of it. We know for a fact that he was an agent at this particular polling unit. And the doctor said, while you are supporting this young man, please, can you also support this young man? He has a surgery. But that had nothing to do with our elections. So we know ourselves, right? We had agents all across Lagos State. So there is no doubt. There is no speculation. There is nothing. We know the damage and harm that came to our agents all across Lagos. Right? So it is not in question.
How much confidence do you have in the judiciary to get a reprieve for all of this?
I believe that judiciary is aware of all of this. I believe that judiciary understands the importance of peace, and they know that the role that they are going to play is going to define the peace that we have in this country. And my family literally laid the foundations for judiciary in this country. So I have a lot of faith in the judiciary, and I believe they will do the right thing. And I appeal on this day to the president of the appeal court that's going to decide on the judges that is going to send for a tribunal hearings. And I appeal to him today that he should do his due diligence on these men and women and ensure that they are not people that are easily corruptible, not people that can be bought, because we are struggling for the soul, not just of Lagos at this point, but of Nigeria. We are struggling to preserve democracy, trying to preserve democracy and not have it evolve into a bureaucracy, a situation where thugs and militants determine our leadership, and we cannot vent or hold our politicians to account because they are going to use machetes and guns to suppress us and silence us. This is what is at stake right now, our future. And we cannot afford for it to go into the hands of these evil, diabolical people.
I'm not the bearer of bad news. My name is Neo from New Central. If you do go to court, but let's say you didn't get back the mandate, what's next for GRP?
We are going to follow the court process all the way to the Supreme Court. And aside from that, simultaneously, we are strengthening this new movement. If you notice, from when I first came out in politics, I said my mission is to bring an entire new voter demographic to the ballot box. Because the ones that have been there all this time are mainly people that vote based on their stomach. Because people are poor, people are suffering. And politicians have weaponized this poverty. So it only makes sense that people that go to work, that have a job, that can afford to say no to 1,000 naira, to 5,000 naira, are also part of this equation that determines our leadership. So we are going to nurture this new voter demographic. We are going to strengthen our political structures. We are going to engage more with the rural communities, with people that have been left behind. We are going to ensure that this movement is galvanized fully, so that we are producing local government chairmen, right? We stand strong in any potential political position that is going to come forward, and continue to push for the interests of Lagosians and Nigerians at large.
My name is Fitz from Olaru. During the presidential election, Labour Party had more votes
and didn't complain much of about this Gbadebo and all everything. But now, what has changed? And you know, in democracy, it's a game of numbers. Are you complaining about the process or the actual number of votes that the party got?
If you watch the interviews that I had interviews on Arise TV, I gave press conferences, and I complained about the rape of elections during the presidential election. Because our situation room shows that we had over 900,000 votes compared to what they announced for us. Our situation room we also saw a lot of violence, a lot of intimidation, a lot of suppression, but it was nothing compared to the militia attack that was unleashed on the whole of Lagos on Saturday. What we are complaining about is not numbers. Please don't get me wrong. It is the new type of democracy. Actually, I insult the word democracy by even associating what happened on Saturday. The bureaucracy that these people are trying to institute. And what you find with this APC government is that when they push and they get through with it, they only get more emboldened to do more.
My people, na the video na on a new watch finish, so on a see what happen for inside the video. Alright, my people, I would like to end the video for you. And if you never subscribe, you can subscribe so that I don't go miss any latest gist we are they upload. On a bye bye till I come on our way next time. Bye guys, guys, my next video. Bye guys.